Good afternoon, traders and investors around the world. Welcome to this Wednesday, Fed Day, July 26th edition of Pre-Market Prep, the closing print. Joel Elconin joined here by Josh, and Josh is going to be helping me out following this price action today, this choppy price action. Let's just give you the net change, and we'll go into the nitty gritty of the price action. S&P's down 12 bucks and 45.84. The buck ending that winning streak down 42.6 cents at 10056. Bonds getting a bounce off the 125.5 level, up a half a point at 126 and 132nd. Crude running into problems just under 80 for the second day in a row. You have crude futures trading in the red by 85 cents to 75, 78, 78. Gold catching a bid today. That's up 1060, 1974.60. Silver is going the opposite way. No, silver back over 25 bucks, up 23.6 cents at 25.06. And Bitcoin getting a little love today. Got quiet range, almost a matching range from yesterday. It's up $155 at 29,335. We'll bring in Josh Walter. I'll stop the screen share. Josh, how you
Yeah,
doing today?
great. Did you see all the comments? How Powell's rocking the boat the last few minutes here? Holy cow!
Yeah, let's dissect his comments, and then I know you got a exciting trade from Stock Gods that you are currently
Mm-hmm.
monitoring. King Zoro wants to talk about Tupperware. Tupperware, holy mackerel! We'll get to
Gotta file
Tupperware.
that one away in the drawer.
Yeah, well, oh, that's a good one, man. You're
There you
learning.
go.
All right, so give us the breakdown. What do you think about Mr. Powell? Your comments were, boy, he can really move the markets. Where are you at on Mr. Powell's comments today?
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw him make a couple comments that the market liked, but then a couple minutes later, the market didn't like some. So I think the key points here, they won't be cutting rates this year. Market didn't like that. Um, we probably won't get back to 2% inflation until 2025 or so. But he did say that we would stop raising rates before getting to 2%, but that wasn't enough to make us positive on the session. So, I mean, I think that's mainly what rocked the boat here in the last half hour or so.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
it's well, one thing I was talking about was and this was a while ago. I didn't think they were ever going to get back to 2%. I thought the Fed pivot might be the acceptance of a higher nominal inflation rate, and maybe that's kind of what he was hitting there. I think anybody that had expectations for rates coming down this year needs their head examined. I don't know if rates are going to be coming down for years, maybe never. Now, I want to say never. That's a long time, but so far the market is heading off the uncertainty. Trying to do. I was, how I like to do my write up for our subs, and this is one of those days where you just can't start at 2:45 because a lot of trading action left in the session. I just want to alert our traders and investors here that we have a very, very important level in the S&P. Josh picked it up right away. Josh, why don't you tell the listening audience what you picked out when I asked you today?
Well, I mean, you talk about double tops, triple tops, and we pretty much came up and made it a triple top today here. So the level today that we got up to was 46.1075, but that matches, or at least is close to the high that we've been seeing over the last week or so. And we came up to it yesterday, basically around 46.0950, right
Yep.
around there. Yeah.
Yep. And then last Thursday, here, let me go back to the charts
Yeah,
to
on
illustrate
the
what we're
19th. Yeah.
Yep, on the 19th. So, you had a few buy stops there, people that were just hanging on, right? I got to stay short this market. There's a hedge. You, you got there, and then that just kind of coincided with like that, the non-dovish, I want to call them hawkish comments. So, but then once again, I mean, you take out, always look at do momentum, like do the pre-market low. You took out the pre-market low by a nice margin, but now you're 12 handles above it. So there's a lot of a tug of war. I can't give you as good as support. Well, I guess I can. We got the resistance of the triple top, but according to my numbers, we got triple bottom at 45.60, and that was Thursday, Friday, and Monday's low. So let the market let it shake and bake in between those two levels before we get a definitive move. But we got some stocks moving off earnings today, so why don't we recap some of those and then get to some that are going to be after the close today.
Yeah, well, this morning we had a whole bunch, but why don't we start with Boeing? The symbol is BA. Boeing, yeah, they are having at least a better day than the rest of the market. Well, most of the rest of the market. We'll get to a few of those, but
Yeah,
what's
I'll you know what? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna kind of pat ourselves on the back a little bit here because Triple D was looking at this one, the laggard trade, right? Still far behind its all-time high. Even with the airline soaring as of late, Boeing hasn't been doing much. So even though it was trading up substantially this morning, he was a little bit hesitant on the as far as shorting it. I don't know if he turned around and was able to flip it into a long, but what I noticed and what I pointed out to traders was I love my monthly resistance, and you just had a wall at the 224 area. You kissed it in the pre-market, but once you took that out in the regular session, it wasn't easy because you had that rally up to 228 and then they took it down again. But now found support just under that old area. So this is a multi-month breakout here in Boeing, and maybe some of that money coming out of Mr. Softy is going into Boeing today. So who cares? They lost a couple $1 billion. The street likes the report, and Boeing, maybe we can get back to that post-COVID high, and that post-COVID high in Boeing comes in at 278.57. I better slow down there. The next, as far as the monthlies go, if you want another target on the upside, I'm looking at the pair of monthly highs at the 242 area, 241, 242, folks. Those are your highs back in July and August of 2021.
Yeah, I mean, they have a ways to go before they get back to all-time highs, but yeah, I do like that that daily chart and a bit of the monthly as we're breaking out of those levels. But why don't we talk about something a little less exciting? Well, I mean, it depends who you are, but Coca-Cola. I
Why
mean,
don't we
they're
go to
having
Mr. Let's go to Mr. Softy next.
yeah, Mr. Soft. Okay, Microsoft. There you go. You already have it pulled up. What are the levels on Microsoft there?
Well, I just want to talk. I mean, high expectations for this stock. They set gradual as far as the AI, revenue. So they took a hit. The only thing, and I alerted our traders and investors of this, that even though it was trading deep in the red, deep in the red here, you did come back and you did come close to yesterday's low. So man, that was a great level, 345.07. Never got a shot to close, missed it by 40 cents. So sometimes when you're looking for those gap fills here, you gotta be a little bit careful. But right now, 333.11. I think that's below the pre-market low. So we'll see if Mr. Softy can establish a bid here. I want to go next to a stock that's currently halted, and just
yes.
and I will tell you that one of the two people doing this broadcast is in the stock, and it ain't
Yeah.
me. Josh, tell me what
50
you've been. Yeah, tell me what's going on.
yeah 50% of us are in this long. It was a nice surprise. This was in the Stock Odds weekly portfolio, and you get these every so often. Sometimes it's earnings, but in this case, it was an update on an acquisition that that another company was going to have on Silicon Motion Technologies here. But yeah, you sometimes you come into this morning and you see it up. I mean, 80%. It's up about 82% this morning, and it's halted. So now the problem is how how am I gonna lock in these profits here? How long is this halt gonna last?
Do
I
you
mean,
plan on selling it right after the halt, or it all really depends where it's at?
it depends where it depends on how long the halt is, and then it depends where it goes. Because if this halt, I mean, sometimes you get a 5 minute halt or 15 minute halt, but so far it hasn't traded for about the last half hour or so. And if it at least resumes trading by tomorrow morning, I'm gonna be watching not necessarily the low of the day, but those you can see the two lower candles right around, I believe it's the 8650 level. I'm gonna
Okay.
be watching that on the downside. But other than that, I mean, you can look at that monthly chart, and it does have room up until just before $100, right around 98 to 99 there. So I'm gonna be taking a look at it in the morning. And if it's still halted, then I'm probably gonna be a little bit more anxious to get out of it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Okay, yeah, they're saying that is that MXL is canceling the deal. They wants to terminate its May 5th merger agreement. So I
Yeah.
don't know if that's going to be good news or not. But anyways, that is that is the hot stock of the day. I don't know what the stock odds was looking at this thing on Monday and why it was looking at it a buy, but maybe we'll that is one heck of a contrarian call. But let's go back. Let's go back to some of the earning stocks, and we'll take it from there.
Sure, yeah. I mean, do we want to talk about the other softy, like the soft drinks, Coca-Cola? I
Sure,
mean,
there we go.
it's more of a value trade. We got also Berkshire, doing well as well. But yeah, what are you seeing on Coca-Cola here for the day?
They're saying Silicon Motion is to resume trading at 345. So we'll see, keep an eye on that information.
Another 30
Hopefully it,
seconds. Yeah.
yeah, hopefully it opens flat for you. But you got us. It's a crazy stock to be in. Coca-Cola. I mean, that thing has been absolute. This has been a very volatile day. It did take a hit off the open. I mean, this was some quick price action. Uh, really, I don't really have anything good for you here. The fact that it got hit and then rebounded nicely is bodes well for it. I say what's going to happen at $63 here. Oh, Josh, it just opened lower there. Just opened at
Oh,
$58. Ooh.
oh no. There goes the day. Wow, I mean, it's still up like 17, 18% on the day. Well, what can you do? Well, I might take a couple of minutes here and
Okay, let me know if you need to work your way out of that
yeah,
wild child here. But anyways, Coke. I'm just looking at the dailies here, the bottom right chart, and struggled at 63 mightily back in May, near the end of May, but it's back there and it's holding a bit. So above 63, I mean, you got some room. Not much between 63 and 64, but volatile day for Coca-Cola.
yeah, definitely. Do we want to start talking about earnings after the close today? We have
Sure.
a lot to cover there.
Yep.
Why don't we start with Meta? I mean, we've seen them run up a little bit today.
Yep,
They're come
Meta getting a benefit of poor Snap earnings. We gave you the Snap level, Snap Crackle Pop. We talked about how buyers had been congregating at 10 in all of the month of June. You take 9.99, and now you got a nice rally going here in shares of Snap, trying to work your way. It's in the yesterday's range. This gave a boost to Meta here. And Meta is off its high. Well, no, we're back at the high for the session. Boy, oh boy, I just think you're gonna look at this as a Mr. Softy situation where you really got to blow things away to get up 301.77. I'll just use on a man. I'm gonna go wide on this one. The high close for the move is 316.01, and then the following day you put a high in at 15 and a half. So on a pop, I think that'd be a place to have potential offers. And then on the downside here, who knows where this thing on a bad report, or if they're not necessarily a bad report, but they just don't like everything they see. I got a very important level for you here. That is a pair of lows at 291.90, just under 292. Yesterday's low 91.86, today's low 91.90. So that's your bogey as long as you're staying above 292. Bulls still in control here for shares of Meta.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've been following Dennis on the Barbie trade, but we saw Barbie come out over the weekend and we've seen Mattel run up into that. But Mattel actually has earnings after the close today as well. So what are the levels that you're looking at on Mattel there, Joel?
Yeah. Now I don't know what's going to be. I mean, the movie just came out, so really, I think you might be looking to next quarter to see what how much it would add it to earnings. But
Hmm.
I'm looking at this one, and it had the Barbie run up right well before the opening, and it really you found a firm seller at 22. So on a pop, just my first initial reaction would it be out there at 22. You do have a triple top there. The high of the move, 22.16, never closed in the 22 handle. So if you're looking for a major breakout there, right there, you got to get a strong 22 bid. On the downside here, you're a little bit closer to some support that I'd be keeping an area, a very close eye on. 2073 to 2079, 2070 to 2079. That encompasses the three of the last six lows. So there are your parameters, a break below 2070, and I think you got some downside. Break above 22, and then the Barbie trade is back on in full bloom.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna point out that's at least a triple bottom, if not maybe a quad bottom right there. So,
Oh,
so that
I didn't see the 2081 in there. So good. Okay. All right, man.
yeah,
Learning
there's your
things
level
from
on the
John.
lows. Yeah, exactly. Now the apprentice teaches the master. Ha ha ha. So on to other earning stocks after the close here. We have let's see here, eBay. I don't know if you want to take a look at eBay after the close.
eBay. Boy, oh boy. Nice run up, pause in the action, support easier to tell than resistance. I'd say above 48, you're looking good here. Below 48, I wouldn't want to own that stock with your money. Coming back up on the upside, the recent high of the move has been 49.48. Nothing really there in the monthly. So if you're looking for a breakout, 49.48 there for eBay. But nice bump up last over the last few weeks, then the consolidation. So if the trend is going to continue here, you're going to get above 49.5. S&P's absolutely all over the place. Looks like they want to rally. Looks like they want to go green. Now we're just about where we opened this morning at the 45. Well, the morning open was 45. 85. So just a major battle between the Bulls and the Bears here going into the close. What else do we have? We gave the Meta. What other earnings do we have to keep an eye on?
Well, just before that, I just want to comment this SEMO. So we got out of the halt. It opened much lower. Instead of at around $95, it went down to about 56. Now it's back up to 65 and halted again. So the
Did you
SEMO trade has been fun. I actually I was about to sell some, but then it started moving back up. So I mean, we'll see where we end up here by the end of the day. We still have what 8-9 minutes to go here, so there's a lot that can still happen in a day like today. Holy cow!
I love your demeanor, Josh. You're like calm, cool, and collected, and this thing is getting halted. But it's probably, is it part of a hedge position or?
Yeah, it's hedged, so that's helping. I'm not too worried about it. I don't have 100% of my portfolio in this, although that would have been nice, but then you end up in trouble. So I'm not doing that. Uh,
Okay, 8 minutes left to the close here. What else you got for me?
well, Royal Caribbean Cruises, I mean, this is earnings tomorrow before the open. But I mean, we've of course seen them getting beat up over COVID and then have a little comeback here, and we're
Yeah.
above all those monthly levels. So where do you think we have to go from here?
Just a little bit shorter term here on the Caribbean. If you're cruising for a bruising, look at this 102.5 to 103 area. You have basically five highs right in that area. Breaks above there. There's not much on the monthlies. Last month's high was 105.21. But first things first, let's get through that 102.50 level. And there we go. I just want to see how this is CCL. I think that now they're always weird on their earnings cycles. So keeping an eye on that 102.50 to 103 area on the upside. And then the downside here, I think you have to really focus under $100. You got a pair of lows coming in at the $97 area. So you lose 97, look out. You have some more downside there. So early parameters for RCL 97 to 102.5.
Yeah, and I mean we've been seeing a lot of action there and some action today with the value trade. So what do you think? Is McDonald's more of a value trade these days? Why don't we
Mickey
take
D's, yeah,
yeah.
it is. It's a definitely a value stack down a buck 16. Wow, look how this man. You got to be careful when these stocks approach their all-time highs. Uh, boom. No, that's not the all-time high, right? Well, yeah,
Uh
yeah.
yeah,
On
I
them,
think it is. Yeah, right
look
below
at this.
300 there.
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. What a wall at 300. I don't think Mickey D's is going to move that much off the report, but I'd be if you're looking to exit this on a good report, I'd have offers 97, 97 and a half, 98, 98 and a half, 99. Just in case they do a quick swoop up there, it doesn't move as much. But on the downside here, you gotta look focus on the 280 level. We're right in between there. 280 is your monthly low. Really two lows in that area, not this month, but from the prior 2 months. So smack dab in the middle, buyer at the 280 here, two monthly lows there, and man, you gotta see what happens if it gets near 300. Do I have anything else on this? I guess if you're going to the more recent price action, you had about a 10-point break. So if you're worried about this one, you're trying to wiggle out, you can look at the 295 area. 294.93 was your high from yesterday. Couldn't quite get there today. So there is a look at Mickey D's. I mean, I still use my drive-through indicator, man, and that drive-through at McDonald's wherever I go seems to be pretty packed too. People still want their greasy hamburgers.
Yeah. So we'll see how many people stop by there before their earnings tomorrow morning. And so for another earnings by tomorrow morning, we have MasterCard. They're also near their all-time highs. We've been seeing a lot of stocks lately near their all-time highs, or at least near their highs after COVID. But in this case, it's a big level that we're kind of, I mean, right now we're above it at 400. We went above it over the last couple days, but what are you seeing on MasterCard here?
On a pop, what happens at 405? That's a pair of highs from two out of the last three sessions. Also, your all-time closing high, 404.79. That was made on Monday. So there is your big bogey on the upside. Uh, I don't, I mean, it doesn't, this thing is traded strong here. Visa, that got whacked off its opening and came back. So that's been a little bit of an underperformer here. The Visa to the MasterCard, MasterCard being the best in breed here. Keep an eye, potential breakout at 405.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then over to why don't we do one last earnings tomorrow morning? We have Southwest Airlines, LUV. We're gonna show them a little bit of love here.
Love, what's going on with Love? Nice rally. Oh, you just got smoked at 39, got over 39, pulled back. I would say on a pop in this big thick one, you gotta respect 37.5, folks. I know it's only a buck and a quarter away, but excluding your last two highs of the sessions, you had four highs right there, 37.40 area. I'll make that 4-star resistance for Love. Coming back on the downside, you better hold 35. The reason I say that is you snuck under 35 on Tuesday, going to 34.82. That also coincided with another low at 34.95. So big levels, LUV 35 to 37.5.
Yes, and I know you wanted to cover this a little bit more at the beginning, but we had Berkshire move a little bit today.
Value trade,
Mr. Buffett.
value.
Yeah.
Yep. The value trade back in vogue here. That is approaching its all-time high too. So I don't know how many Berkshire Hathaway traders we have here, but 351 on 19. That's your high for the current month. I believe that was made. Oh no, you just missed it. You got something on the dailies here to keep an eye on if you're trading Warren. Pair of highs, 351.09, 351.19. So someone's a little bit of a bigger trader trying to wiggle out here at 351. S&Ps are not going to be denied here. They are now coming back. They're trying to be green on this head. It's funny because before we came on and I was thinking about my wrap for the day, we were trading right around unchanged. And I was thinking, stalemate. Could we have a stalemate in the market after all the up and down and all around? And the SPOO's now 20 handles off the low, trying to get unchanged on the session as we move into the closing print here, 45 seconds. But why not look under the drawer? Tupperware. We got to do the Tupperware. I said I would do Tupperware. I'm a man of my word. That is
Let's
a
cover it.
that is a nice move in Tupperware. Can we fill the gap? They got some room in Tupperware up to what, man? Too many digits here. 235. That's where you want this to get to. Where do we stall at today? 213. So a big up day, an inside day. If you played the move up above a $1.50, you got something nice. But let's see if you can get into this gap area. 240 fills the gap at 235 up to 250. From my lips to the market's ears, folks, we are battling. We just hit unchanged once again. 45.96. That was your close from yesterday. Your
And there's
close,
the close.
there's your close. I'm going to call it a double close at 45.96. The closing high in the move at 45.97. Bulls and Bears battling it out. We got to take out that triple top tomorrow and look for some higher prices in the 4,600 handle. As always, great having you on, Josh. You're just doing better and better. I see your SEMO is halted. I don't know what the hell you're going to do with that, but that you're
Yeah,
on your
I'll pay attention to that now. I'm gonna see if I can do anything after hours here.
Okay,
We'll
go
see
get
how it
them.
goes.
All right,
Yeah.
folks. Thanks for joining me on the closing print. Okay.